Hello Leo and welcome to my channel Love It or More. This is going to be your May 2023 reading for Sun, Moon and Rising. We will start off with the sound bowl just to tune into the energy before we begin. There will be an extended reading at the end of this video. If you're interested in that, you can go to the description box below, click on the link, and the PayPal link is beneath that one. Alright, so before we begin, let us just tune into the energy. So if you'd like to join me in a nice deep inhalation and exhale. Alright Leo, let us see what May has in store for you. We're going to be doing a Celtic cross today, but we will also get a theme for the month for you for May, and then we will be clarifying. Alright, I'll be cutting the deck, and I'm going to change it around a little bit in that I'm not going to go through all the general energies and then go back of everything to clarify. I'm going to do it all in one, because I find sometimes when we watch readings and we get all the general energies and then we go back on the same energies, we can get quite confused. So you can do it that way. Also, please be mindful that energies are non-gender specific. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. I'd be grateful if you can give me a thumbs up for my channel. It will help. You can subscribe, totally free. Share, comment, all that jazz. And personal readings, you can check out my website, loveitoormore.com, if you're interested in that. Okay. Can we please get a theme for Leo for May 2023 for their highest good? Thank you. You're going to like this one. Happiness! It's like finding your inner child in May. Okay, the sun is shining for you. It's all about enjoyment. Enjoying things just for the sake of enjoyment. Now, I'm sure I watched a David Attenborough documentary a while ago where they were looking at schools of dolphins who were joyfully playing and riding the waves in South Africa. And they could not come up with any scientific basis for them doing this apart from just sheer fun. So the focus here is for the month of May to find as much joy and happiness as possible. Not only is that coming towards you, but it's also asking you to not be too serious this month, okay? Now, for a lot of you who are in the northern hemisphere, you're moving into spring, and sometimes with spring we think we have to kind of do some spring cleaning, get all of our ducks in a row, get charged up in time for summer where everything seems a little bit buoyant, and that can be a little bit grueling sometimes. It feels like you've got too much on your hands. Okay, Spirit here is saying no, enjoy, find happiness where you can, be the child that you used to be. Okay, so we're going to do a Celtic cross now, and I will lay it all out first and I'll show you afterwards, all right? Just bear with me. Okay. It's nice. Yeah, you're working hard. Oh, interesting. Okay. Sorry, I'll go through all of this with you. I'm just going to clarify first, and then I'll go through each of the positions. Oh, okay. We've got a lot of repeating cards coming up for you for the month of May. I'll just go through that quickly. The three cards that are coming up repeated, although they are showing up in different positions in your reading, is the Seven of Swords, which can talk about kind of lying, cheating, stealing energy, something deceiving or deception in your environment. The Nine of Swords, which can talk about having a bit of anxiety regarding that, and the Devil card, which can be anything that becomes a bit of a toxic situation surrounding you, but it can also talk about being a bit of a workaholic at this time, because I know that you're working really, really hard, and it's come up in the happiness card too, the Oracle card. There is perhaps a need to maybe slow down a wee bit, but we're going to go through each position for you, okay? But because there are many cards here, many major arcanas that are extremely positive for you, all right? So don't worry just yet, okay? Your position as you start May off is beautiful. We've got the Empress, which talks about abundance, fertility, creation, birthing new projects. It's just divine feminine energy. But it is, strangely enough, clarified by the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is also coming up in the thing that is blocking you for May. So if I just show you this first of all, okay? Now, the Empress is beautiful and divine. Now, in some cases, it feels to me like you are in this very creative, nurturing stage in the month of May, and you're looking to find ways of deviating a situation in the most strategic way, so as to avoid conflict and confrontation at all costs. Okay, so this is a very positive, because you see, in this card, the man actually sneaks over to, I just need to move this quickly. The man actually moves over, sneaks to the enemy and steals all of their swords through during a time of battle. And this is essentially to disarm the enemy, rather than so as to avoid conflict. So it's thinking outside the box. And that clarifying, the Empress is showing up very strong. However, the Seven of Swords is coming up in your blocking position over here, clarified by the Nine of Swords over here, tells me that there's something else that's going on. Okay, so there is definitely, it feels to me like you may be aware over the course of May that there's something that is not quite kosher, that is not quite transparent, not quite forthcoming. There could be a person around you or a situation around you who is, it does have a type of manipulating quality to it. And I know that because it's coming up as a devil a couple of times as well. And it's a thing that's blocking you and causing quite a lot of anxiety within you. Okay, maybe even some sleepless nights. But what I will say is, it's because it's a 9, it's kind of reaching the end, it's reaching the climax over the course of May. I do see you moving out of it, so don't worry too much now. But I have a feeling that you're aware of it. So it could be a situation where you are you're ready to kind of nurture your work and your passions at this moment, but you're trying to avoid a situation, all right? And it seems like that situation is also still causing you a little bit of anxiety, because you know that it's in your radar, it's in your field at the moment, okay? So the worry about that could have a negative impact on your amazing creativity and at this time. For some of you, I mean, the Empress card does also talk about pregnancy sometimes. When we talk about birthing new things into existence, they could be babies, or they could be projects. But the number 3 is a very catalyst figure. So perhaps for some of you, it could be a situation where if you found you are pregnant, perhaps you're not wanting to tell somebody else about it, or family or friends or things like that. It's obviously not going to resonate with everyone, but it's coming up, so I need to mention it. All right, it's causing a bit of worry, but I do feel that you're trying to deviate out of the situation in the energy of the Empress, which is very compassionate. So finding a loving approach around the situation for the best outcome. Okay. Now, in your conscious area of thought, I feel like, so we've got quite a lot of stuff, because your focus mainly is definitely this not so nice energy around you that is impacting your growth at this time, and it is impacting it. But I do feel like there's something to do with work and something to do with finance. It's causing a bit of disruption in your emotional body as well. Okay, therefore the focus this month for you is, okay, I'm feeling the financial pinch at the moment. I'm feeling kind of a little bit left out in the cold at the moment, and so my focus is to try and seek organizations or systems that can support me. Okay, what is the best way to do this? What are the rules and regulations surrounding this? How can I bring more finance in or more support? So what I absolutely love about this is that we've got the Hierophant clarified by the Five of Pentacles. Okay, if it was the other way around, it would be saying that you're feeling more the pinch, and therefore it's saying, then Spirit would be saying, okay, well, why don't you try and access certain organizations to try and assist you financially speaking. But because it's the other way around, what I see here is your focus is more on where's the support out there. So you're actually focusing on the positive rather than the negative. It's focusing on the positive as a result of feeling maybe a little bit left out in the cold. But you see what I mean? Your focus is more positive orientated than negative. So I really, really, really love that. Okay, it's looking at what are the rules and regulations around this. What am I eligible for? Okay. Now, in your subconscious area of thought, we've got a beautiful major arcana again, the Temperance, and it's clarified by the Seven of Pentacles. So again, we're talking about sort of your money, where you feel stable and secure in the world, or the things that you kind of put in, what do you get out? If you have a look over there, Temperance is about divine timing. It's about being the alchemist. And so deep down, you kind of picking up on the energies of, I know that in time, I will reap the rewards. I will bring home to harvest all the energy and all the hard work I've been putting in. Okay, so what that tells me is that you feel like, as it relates to work and finances, is a part of you of like, well, I need to make some choices now, and I need to make some decisions now and access whatever I can now to support me. But I know that it's only temporary, because I know that I've put a lot of work into things, and I know that it will pay off in the long term. Okay, so that's really reassuring. Now, in your immediate past, we've got this lovely news coming through about like either a work opportunity or some good news, perhaps if you are working even for a company or for yourself, that you get a new client on board, and it's really, really nice. And what that does is it gives you a bit of a breather of like, oh my goodness, thank goodness for that. So it could be that that's the thing that you're working on, knowing full well that it will pay off in the long term, but right now you still need to be all right. Okay, Page of Wands with the Four of Swords over there. Okay, so the Page of Wands is a good message to do with something that you're passionate about, and it's a thing that actually ultimately gives you the opportunity to pause, reflect, take stock, and recover. Okay, give yourself a bit of peace, also an opportunity to stop and take stock and pray and meditate on the things that you are, where you're wanting things to go. So because it's come up in your most recent position, this is why you're feeling the energy of the Empress. This is why you're making the right choices. What are the systems I need to incorporate in my working life? And if I'm dealing with some sort of deceptive energy around me, where can I access support in that regard as well? Okay. Now, the immediate future, all of a sudden you get this a bit of a gift that comes on in, a bit of a helping hand, a financial support with the Six of Pentacles. But it's clarified by the Devil card. So this is telling, because we've got the Devil card and the outcome, this is why I do these readings, because it can give you a bit of foresight about what's happening, the kind of energies that are surrounding about what's happening, and then based on that not necessarily forewarning, but the full kind of awareness, then it can potentially help you to deviate tricky or sticky situations. Because the Six of Pentacles is clarified by the Devil card. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is a gift or some sort of monetary exchange. It doesn't have to be monetary, but it's something asset-based, material-based, but it's got strings attached with the devil card. Okay, there are conditions attached that you are not aware of right now, and by the end of the month I see you are quite you are regretting doing that. So I would just be a bit cautious of that energy. It feels like it's connected to the Seven of Swords. Okay, this also has a type of energy of a kind of a get rich quick scheme. I'm never a fan of those sorts of things. I'm Taurus, so I like, I'm all about slow and steady wins a race, So if you're thinking about investing money into new systems over the course of May, or investing your energy and time into something that is not kind of written in contractual form, and has had a few pairs of eyes check over it, I would be very cautious for May. Okay. Also, if you're receiving some sort of gift from someone close to you, again, I would be very cautious of what sort of attachment that puts you in. It feels like a binding contract, a binding attachment that I would just, again, be very cautious of. We are Mercury retrograde, so even looking at contracts at this time is quite risky. You definitely need someone else to overlook. And if you are too if you're not wanting to show anyone those contracts, or those, if you're not wanting to share this this information with anybody else in your close connections, you may want to question within yourself, well, why don't I? Maybe because there's a little something behind you at the back of your mind that is not quite trusting in it. Okay, so don't be afraid to look at that quite deeply. Okay, now excuse me, your attitude for the month of May is beautiful. I mean, you just got your head down and you're working. You're burning the midnight oil, and then we've got the Page of Pentacles. So what I see here is that it feels to me, whatever this Page of Wands was, this good news regarding another client or another piece of work that came in, it does feel different and separate to the Six of Pentacles devil energy, by the way. This seems different, something that's already come on in. Okay, I see you working really hard, and there's going to be some good news regarding some finances. So if I were you, I would just focus on that. Focus what you've already got, that seems all above board. Anything over and above that, any sort of gifts that come on in, just make sure you know what the conditions are. And if you feel that you're not quite trusting it, put it down on paper and get the other party to sign it. Okay, now your environmental factors. See, what I love about this reading is, even though there's quite a lot of kind of tricky energy going on, you're sort of keeping, you do have a turn of events happening for you as it relates to finance. So even though you're doing everything you can over this month to kind of improve your sense of prosperity over the month, it is coming in for you. The trick here is not to take any shortcuts. Okay, Mercury retrograde does not like that. Okay, it doesn't help. It's not going to work out. It's going to backfire. All right, your environment at the moment is a star clarified by the Wheel of Fortune. So there we have this healing come on in. So where you are feeling the opportunity to just rest and recoup in your immediate past based on that good news regarding passion or work, I see you taking a much deeper cleansing moment. You're starting to feel, you're starting to look forward in the future, and you're starting to recognize that dreams can come true. All right, and because it's turned up, it basically says yes. Your environment is really blessed at this time. Clarified by the Wheel of Fortune, fortunate events are going to be favoring you at this time. Okay, so work with that energy. It's surrounding you. It's really positive. It also has some financial benefit attached to. Excuse me. So your hopes and fears is, we've got the Nine of Swords with the King of Swords. So we're talking about now this anxiety that you've been feeling. It feels connected to this Seven of Swords energy, this kind of deceptive kind of skirting around the issue kind of energy, together with the King of Swords, which shows me that sort of entrepreneur, that mentor, that expert advice. So you are now in a position of, you're hoping that whatever Hierophant you are dealing with in the month of May, Hierophant meaning organization, structure, systems, higher bureaucracy, all of that sort of stuff, whatever things that you are addressing in order to improve your sense of security over the course of May, your wish now is that you'll get the A-OK, and you'll get the support that you're looking for, and you'll get the right people on your side to help you. The fear is literally just the worry, the anxiety that's coming on in. If you're dealing with anyone who has been deceptive around you, this could even be a situation where you're bringing it to light, you're raising it up with the authorities, and while it could cause some internal anxiety within you, there is the King of Swords. You do have that benefit. You do have backing at this time. Okay, so there is support out there. You are accessing it. It is supporting it this time. The best thing to try and do is just to be in awareness of where your thought patterns are going, and to recognize that you are actually surrounded by the Star card at the moment, which is a deeply healing energy to help you with this anxiety or this mindset that it keeps coming on in. So any sort of anything that you can be doing with water in the month of May, any crystal baths, cleansing baths, going to the sauna, anything where you can kind of sweat it out and purge it out, drinking lots of water, blessing the water before you drink the water, all of those things are going to be deeply healing for this anxiety that you're going through. The outcome of the month, as we see the trajectory here, is a devil clarified by the Five of Cups. So we do have this devil energy turn up again. It does talk about extreme behavior, which can be anything from overeating to jealousy, possession, to negative toxicity, to overworking. All of those things which represent an energy that's kind of not quite in balance. Okay, you are now in the regretting phase of that. Something that could have been a past situation. We are also Mercury retrograde, that can bring up the situations from the past to the forefront that need to be dealt with and addressed. It could be this attachment to this offer that came on in, and now you're like, oh God, why did I do that? Why did I take that? Okay, it's something to do with that. But again, because you can watch this reading now, you can be ahead of the game with regards to this. The ultimate advice over here that I can see before I even get an oracle card is, whatever you do in the course of May, be as transparent as possible, and grab as much authoritative support and friends and family as much as possible, because I feel like you're going to need it. And if you can be as open as in sharing about your situation to as many people out there, those who have really your highest intentions at heart, that is going to really support you over this month of May. All right, okay. You do have the healing coming in. You do have the work coming in. The money will improve. You're not seeing it yet, but it will improve, okay? So shortcuts is not a good time and not a good thing in May for you. We're just going to get a message from Spirit, an oracle card, just to advise from Spirit to close this reading off before I move on to the extended. What does Leo need to know, please, about May 2023? I'm not going to take... Okay, I'll take 3 cards. Okay, play, have fun, celebrate, don't be too serious. I was pretty much talking about that with the happiness card. All right, anything that can shift this energy of anxiety and fear and toxicity in your environment, that's as if you can find ways to just lift the mood, it's going to help you move around this kind of heavier energy. We've got dance with life, do something to change your energy. That's exactly what I've just said now. So Spirit is really sort of saying, okay, you are in the driving seat this month. I mean, you're in the driving seat every month, but really you have potential of, oh, my ear just blocked. sorry, the pressure in the room has changed. You have potential this month to, you're in the driving, sorry, that really like shook me out of that. You're in the driving seat this month of really taking charge of your happiness. Okay, so anything that is deceptive, anything that has got hidden agendas attached, anything that is not transparent and open and from a loving intention, you got to cut it out. Simple as. And any time that you're feeling a little bit anxious or a little bit worried about that situation or about any sort of financial or work-based situation, do whatever you can to lift your spirits, whether it's pulling all your clothes off and dancing naked by yourself to some music, whether it's going for a walk in the park, whatever that means to you. Okay, it's really important this month to really kind of make sure that you navigate this energy with the least amount of harm as possible. And then we have this, the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Okay, so this is kind of like the equivalent, very similar to the Tower card. It basically talks about certain attachments that are no longer working for you. Okay, and the sooner you recognize that, the better, because it's cracking anyway. And if you don't acknowledge it sooner, you're gonna crash and burn, and it's gonna feel a lot more heavier. So now you've really got to pose this question within yourself this month. What attachments am I holding on too tightly? Okay, because it feels very devil energy, a bit, it's not quite balanced, it's a little bit too much. And when we hold on too tightly, we actually put resistance up. That resistance can be extremely painful when it suddenly comes crashing down. The crumbling does remind you that actually this needs to come crumbling down, because you've got this beautiful oasis, this beautiful future in the background. And whatever this attachment is that you have, anything that's binding you, anything that's keeping you suppressed and held back, that needs to go. You've got no time in your life for that this month. Okay, that needs to go. You need to disperse that energy so you can move towards your wish fulfillment. All right. So Leo, quite a full-on reading, I'm not going to lie. We're going to be moving on to the extended now. So for those of you, if this resonates with you, please give me a thumbs up. Of course, you can have a personal reading with me if you check out my website, loveItormore.com, details in the description box below. I'm going to be going on to the extended, and I'm going to be looking at this devil energy. I'm going to be figuring out what the hell is going on with you. I don't like it. So I'm going to see what's really going on a much deeper level, and I'm going to get some decent, hopefully some practical advice from Spirit for your highest good. So if you're interested in that, pop onto that extended reading. The PayPal link is beneath that one. I think it's £4 or $5 for that as a suggested rate. Okay, so for those of you, I will see you there. For the rest of you, good luck this month, okay? You are in the driving seat. You can absolutely make this work for you, not against you, okay? So I wish you lots of love, lots of light. Take care. I'll see you in June. Bye-bye.